This video is about some of the best fragrances to start off the year. Hi everyone, I'm Salome and welcome back to my channel, Scented Moments, where we discuss everything about perfumes. So like I said in the intro, this video is all about looking ahead of 2026 to see what we want to use fragrance-wise, especially, me, this is my personal list, but definitely also like some recommendations for you in terms of fragrances that I highly advise you to check them out. I have here 10 fragrances. 5 of them were released last year, 5 of my favorite fragrance releases of last year, and the other 5 are just fragrances that are so amazing that you really need to check them out in 2026. So without further ado, and with no specific order, let's get started. Now the first fragrance here from the house of Puredistance Ysayo. I love Ysayo. It's really one of my highlights of 2025. Incredibly underrated here, and I just adore the brand. This is, like you see, 100 ml. It has this beautiful like suede cover, and the bottle looks like this. So you really need to take it off. It's very tight, but so basically it's like that. Very simple looking bottle. All bottles look like this, but Ysayo is just a stunning, leathery, green, earthy. I would say this is borderline a Chypre fragrance, but more on the green, damp, moisty side. It's so good. Immediately you have galbanum in here, a bit of thyme. It has overall a very green herbaceous quality, very damp, soily, a bit of patchouli in here, and leather. You don't have any sweet edges whatsoever. This fragrance is an ode to like the classics, to those powerhouse green leathery classics. Think of even Chanel Entheos, and although this is not as animalic as Entheos, but think of Entheos. Think of Must Cartier Parfum, the one that was marketed for women, also from the 80s. So it's within that genre, and it's so well done. This is a fragrance from Antoine Lee. It was created by Antoine Lee. It was love at first sniff. The performance is fantastic. This is a Parfum concentration. Seriously, I know that this is expensive, but then again, for 100 ml, this runs for 490 euros. But the thing is that Puredistance, they haven't raised their prices since, at least 9 years ago. And for me, I just have a lot of respect for a brand that really doesn't increase prices just every year 5-10% or even more like all other brands are doing at the moment. So I just respect the brand. They keep the quality. They also don't pop up releases back and forth like year after year. No, they really just release one fragrance, maximum 2 fragrances per year. So yes, I really appreciate and respect Puredistance, and the quality of their materials is fantastic as well. So really, if you are into these type of perfumes, Ysayo is one that you must check out. Now the next fragrance from my favorite perfume brand, Profumum Roma, it is Dulcis in Fundo. This one right here, and you see the massive dent, although I already have this bottle for a few years now, and also the color turned. This was like a pale yellow color, but because this has a lot of vanilla, that's why it turned into this amazing ambery dark color. But ultimately, this Dulcis in Fundo is an amazing citrusy vanilla fragrance. I love to wear this like during summer evenings. It's just so sensual. It has this gourmand quality, like this orangey vanilla cake type of perfume that it's super delicious. But the quality of this fragrance is fantastic, really. It's very realistic. It has a savoriness into it. You really can imagine like this orange vanilla cake, but ultimately this is a natural smelling vanilla in the end with this orangey nuance. It's really fantastic. If you're searching for like a citrusy vanilla, this is the best out there. Yes, you also have Lira from the Casa Murati line of Xerjoff, but this is superior. First of all, because it's more full body. The performance is incredible. It lasts a lot, like even to the next day. And you really will smell so sensual. It's fantastic. And I mean, again, this is just one fragrance that I can mention from Profumum Roma, but I mean, I can mention Ambra Aurea, Acqua di Sale, Acqua Viva, Victrix, Fiore d'Ambra, you name it. I'm a massive fan of the brand, so this is Dulcis in Fundo. It's really just an example, but ultimately I really advise you to check the entire brand if you can. But if you want like a stunning summer evening scent, Dulcis in Fundo from Profumum Roma. The next fragrance from the House of Andy Tower, released last year, this is L'air de désert Marocain Noir Elixir. This for me is fantastic, although I wasn't a big fan of the news when I got the news that Andy Tower was about to release this fragrance, because this is ultimately a flanker and it's basically seeing Andy Tower jumping on this elixir bandwagon. But I mean, I get it. We all need to make money somehow. And L'air de désert Marocain, I mean, it's the ultimate masterpiece and the bestseller of Andy Tower. And the fact is that this is a stunning perfume, regardless. So we have L'air de désert Marocain, which is this masterpiece of a fragrance, is also a perfume that everyone should try at least once. And you also have the Au Couleur du Désert. But L'air de désert Marocain, the original, is this dry, spicy, ambery vanilla. It has some vanilla in there as well, but more on the ambery side. And then you have Au Couleur du Désert, which is a parfum version of L'air de désert Marocain, but ultimately is not even a true parfum, because it's basically a very dense, heavy, resinous fragrance, like amber dark type of perfume. While you can see some resemblance with L'air de désert Marocain, but they are still different. I always describe those two fragrances as being like part of the same book, but in different chapters. And this one feels more of a flanker of L'air de désert Marocain. This one feels more of even a higher concentration of L'air de désert Marocain, because this is L'air. Ultimately, you have the spices, you have the amber, you have the vanilla, but you also have leather. This for me is almost like a mix of L'air de désert Marocain with Lone Star Memories, which are arguably two of the best perfumes from Andy Tower. And you have that smoky, almost tar leather quality in here, a bit still with the spiciness of L'air, the original, but again more heavy, dense, thick leather smoke, and still you have the ambers in here. It's fantastic. It's so good. It's really good. You can argue, like I said in the beginning, well, this is an elixir and it's a flanker, but it smells so good. If you are a fan of Andy Tower and if you're a fan of the original L'air de désert Marocain, you will love this one, hands down. The performance is fantastic as well. So really, really suggest you to try this L'air de désert Marocain Noir Elixir by Andy Tower. The next fragrance, now this is an older release, this time from the House of Papillon Artisan Perfumes. Now this is a fragrance that I wanted to have for a very long time. I love the brand. I love Lise Mour's work. She is the founder and the parfumeur of Papillon Artisan Perfumes. And this one is Salome. I love Salome. Salome is an ode to vintage Chypre fragrances. This is a 50 ml, just comes in 50 ml. Eau de parfum concentration. Now, Salome is quite animalic. It's not for everyone. This is really an animalic Chypre fragrance. You have like Hyraceum in here, and it gives a very pissy quality into it. You have also like a bit of bergamot, lots of carnation, rose. I would say you have a bit of an oak moss in here, and jasmine. You have, and maybe the pissiness comes from the jasmine, like this indolic jasmine quality blended with the Hyraceum. Yeah, it has funk and oomph. This fragrance is powerful. This fragrance really lasts up to the next day, and if you spray on your clothes, oh, it will last. It really will last even after washing. So yeah, you really need to be careful with this perfume. It's powerful stuff, but ultimately you really need to appreciate Chypre fragrances more, and even more specifically vintage Chypre fragrance. But this is so worth it. It smells so rich, so expensive. If honestly, if there is a fragrance that smells like old money, oh, it's Salome. It's Salome, absolutely. It's so good. Yeah, one of the best cheaper fragrances out there at the moment. Salome by Papillon Artisan Perfumes. You need to check this one out if you are into these type of fragrances. Now, the next fragrance from the house of Thomas de Monaco. This fragrance was released last year. In fact, I'm a huge fan of this line, the Flowers for Future from Thomas de Monaco. And this line is composed by 3 perfumes called Jade d'Amour, New Eden, and Fleur d'Angers. Fleur d'Angers, it's so good. The minute I spray this on my skin, I need to grab a bottle. This is an extrait de parfum. This is 50 ml, just comes in 50 ml. Retail price is 275 euros. Very expensive, and I would say it's a bit overpriced. But the uniqueness is here. These 3 fragrances for me are very unique. Created by 3 up-and-coming perfumeurs. In fact, the parfumeur of this fragrance was Hugo Charon. And I never heard of him before, but he did a stunning job here. Now, this might not be for everyone because it has a cold metallic quality. In fact, you do have like a steel accord in here that for me gives a very cold, incensey quality. Overall, this fragrance for me is quite incensey, although you don't have incense in here. You have this steel accord with rum, pink pepper. You also have this organox molecule in here, which basically is like, imagine ambroxan, because it's basically like a molecule that it's similar to ambroxan. And then you have sandalwood, balsam. You have a balsam note in here, a bit of a balsamic quality. Overall, this is a very unique scent. It's not a fragrance that changes that much. For me, the moment that for me in the opening, this is a very incensey, cold perfume. I don't get much the booziness. You have a sweetness in here that maybe is from the rum and the pink pepper, but it's not that obvious, like boozy or spicy type of notes. For me, it's really like a sweet, cold, incense perfume with some balsamic, woody qualities. And it's wonderful, really. I never smelled anything like this before. The performance is actually quite good. For me, this is more for spring and summer because of the cooling freshness of it. But it has still the body for maybe like warmer days of fall. But I don't see this as like a winter fragrance, although maybe you can use it during the winter. Overall, this is very versatile, signature scent worthy. But yes, really advise you to try this one if you are into more of these type of perfumes. Fleur d'Angers. The next fragrance from the house of Aedes is the Venustas. Now this is an older release, 2013 if I'm not mistaken, and it's a brand that I really wanted to explore for a long time. I had the opportunity to do so in Vilnius finally, and yes, I was in love with quite a few of their perfumes. 4 or 5, this was definitely one of them, and it is the very well-known Iris Nazarena. If you are a fan of Iris, you really need to check this one out. It's really one of the best Iris fragrances out there. This is a 100 ml Eau de Parfum concentration. Retail is 220 euros. Quite honestly, it's a good bang for your buck, considering that this is a niche-ish fragrance, because Aedes Venustas actually it's a perfume store from the US, and but I will consider this as niche. And the quality of the iris is fantastic. This is like a fresh, haunting, dewy iris, very natural smelling, realistic, 3-dimensional iris, and you have also a bit of rose, incense, musk. And it's just so good, really. This iris is such a high quality perfume. It's not like Dior Homme. It's not Bellam, for example, which is an iris that I absolutely love, because Bellam is more warm, more vanillic, although the quality of that iris is also one of a kind. But it's more buttery. Here, it's more like the floral aspect of the iris, but you still have a bit of a rootiness in here, although not that prominent. It's more about the iris, the petals of the iris, and it's so fresh, again, so dewy, and it's also cold and a bit haunting, to be honest. And I love how this transitions into this intensely rose, musky fragrance. Wonderful. I will definitely be wearing this one a lot during the upcoming spring. Iris Nazarena by Aedes de Venustas. The next fragrance, now this is a new release from last year from the house of Rania J, a brand that I also highly respect and love. Big fan of her creations, and this one was a love at first sniff. Also, it's an extrait, it's the second extrait fragrance from Rania, and it's a brand new fragrance. It's not like a flanker or a higher concentration of an existing perfume from her collection. No, this is a brand new extrait fragrance. She did that in 2024 with the fragrance was called Xerjoff, which was more of a tobacco type of perfume, which for me kind of resembled to Amouage Royal Tobacco, although I would say more resinous and more woody. Samarkand is the fragrance here that I want to highlight. Samarkand is fantastic. For me, love at first sniff again. This is a 50 ml, just comes in 50 ml. And Samarkand here is a more luminous fragrance. Usually Rania J, her creations are more deep, dark, intense, rich perfumes. This one is very different. Although she also has she has a rose perfume, she has a musk perfume, but this one is more luminous and more fruity. You have here orange and bergamot, but I do get more orange with blackcurrant and osmanthus. The osmanthus also gives like a peachy quality, but overall the blend of these notes really give almost like a pineapple accord in here with ylang ylang. So ultimately it's a very happy, almost like summery fragrance, but with a lot of oomph, because you have the amber still, you have oud in here, you have tonka bean, a bit of patchouli. So you have a lot of heavy notes in the base, but the fruity nuance in here, it's so good. It's such a fantastic scent. It's really like the blend of the bergamot, orange, blackcurrant gives almost like a pineapple feel. And it's a type of pineapple from Music for a While, from Frederic Malle, a masterpiece of a fragrance, by the way. And I think that one is discontinued, or at least I heard it was discontinued. Unfortunately, that for me was the best pineapple accord that I ever smelled. Forget about Aventus. It's Music for a While. And here kind of resembles to that type of pineapple. It's so good. It's really good. I love it. Really, it's a fragrance that I will be wearing, I think, even in the summer. Let's see. This might be a bit heavy for the summertime, but because of this such a happy, fizzy, fruity type of fragrance that for me I just think of summer. But because you have so many heavy notes in here, I don't know, maybe this will be a bit too heavy and sweet for the summer, but well, we will see. I will definitely be testing this one though during springtime. I don't see this as a winter fragrance because of the opening, so there's that, but it's nonetheless wonderful, wonderful perfume. And you do get a bit of oud in the base, really in the dry-on. Wonderful scent, very complex, but again, that opening, this opening kind of lasts, in fact, that has this pineapple nuance that it's similar to Music for a While, or made me think of Music for a While by Frederic Malle. I mean, yeah, it's a winner. It's an instant winner. Samarkand by Rania J. Highly, highly invite you to try this one if you have yet to. Now the next fragrance, This time from the house of Clive, a brand that I really started to love since last year. I rediscovered the brand and somehow clicked. Quite a few of the perfumes clicked. I mean, of course, not all of them, but quite a few I really appreciate it, including this one. This is an older release. It was released in 2001 and for me still smells amazing. It is Clive Christian's X Masculine, or for men. This fragrance is so good. Such a sophisticated, gentlemanly scent that everyone should try at least once. This is a very spicy, woody, a bit fougere-ish fragrance. You have here tons of cardamom, ginger, pepper. I would say you have a bit of a lavender in here as well. And like woody, like cedarwood, sandalwood notes in the dry down. And it's just such a versatile fragrance. This can be a signature scent, although this is a very elegant, upscale fragrance. This is not a perfume that you wear like casually. I mean, you can, definitely, but I think this is a fragrance that you wear to impress. For special events, it's wonderful, really. And this fragrance is not a type of fragrance that it's nuclear, that lasts like until the next day. It's not even intended to. This is a fragrance that it will stand out naturally. It's a fragrance that if people come close to you, they will smell you and you will smell amazing. It's wonderful, one of the best from Clive Christian. I know Clive Christian is incredibly overpriced. This one specifically, this is a 50 ml and retail is 360 euros. Yeah, not cheap at all, but you can find great deals in online discounters for Clive Christian. It's where I got mine actually. So definitely advise you to check the discounters or overall like Facebook deals, although be careful of the fakes out there. But if you can source this, definitely do that. It's really a wonderful scent. Such a masculine, gentlemanly, sophisticated, elegant scent. Really advise you to try this. And of course, this one, I think it leans a bit more to the mature side of things, but I mean, ultimately, if you want to smell really good and unique and special, Clive Christian X is one that I really advise for you to try. Now, the next fragrance, this is a very recent release from Xerjoff, and I'm not sure if you can consider this fragrance has still 2025 release or 2026. I mean, if it's 2025, it was released like in December of 2025, and I would say like mid-December of 2025. And if not, then it's January of 2026. This fragrance is an exclusive perfume that is being sold only at Xerjoff's boutique here in Lisbon. And I'm so happy to have this fragrance, to have the opportunity to try this fragrance and to see that Lisbon now has like an exclusive perfume, and this one is Olissipo. This one right here, Olissipo. Olissipo was the Roman name of Lisbon when the Romans were occupying España, basically. And Olissipo was the name of Lisbon, actually. And so that's why that's the inspiration of Xerjoff. So it's inspired by the city of Lisbon. You can see here the bridge, the 25th of April bridge, or we call it 25 de Abril, upon 25 de Abril. Here actually it's a really nice detail around the bottle. And this fragrance, it's so good. Actually, if it was released last year, it's really the best release of Xerjoff. And I'm not being biased, because if you checked my last video, you see how harsh I was with Xerjoff. And Xerjoff is one of my all-time favorite brands out there. But yeah, last year wasn't great. But this, Olissipo, oh, it's quite good. And it's very playful. So this opens up with a blast of plum, lots of pineapple, and the pineapple here also, it's really good, like very realistic, juicy pineapple with rum. And it's not pina colada. When you think of pineapple rum, pina colada, no, it's not. I would say that this is not a specific like booze or beverage perfume. It's really The fruits, you have this cocktail of fruits like the plum and the pineapple with rum. And honestly, I even do get like a dried fruit quality into it. Very caramelized. You have some caramel in here, a bit of chocolate. Although I don't get much chocolate, I do get a bit of caramel. And again, maybe because it's the caramel with the fruity notes in here that I get like a dried fruit, boozy dried fruit quality. And very ambery and citrusy. You have a bit of an orange in here as well, which makes sense. And this is such a happy fragrance in the end. I love the wear experience. This is not like a incredibly unique fragrance. This is not mind-blowing. It's any of that. And it's not like the most natural smelling fragrance out there. Although for me, the fruity notes in here are really good, like the plum and the pineapple and the rum. Like these three notes that really compose like the opening are part of the opening. It's fantastic. But overall, this is such a happy fragrance and very sensual at that, because you have the amber, you have the sandalwood, you have a bit of a caramel nuance in here. Ultimately, this is still, I would say, unique-ish. Think of, I would say, imagine Monkey Special, the collaboration fragrance with Tony Iommi. Imagine Monkey Special here taking some holidays in Portugal. I think it's the best way to describe this fragrance. More chill, enjoying the summer, not as heavy. You don't have like that heavy patchouli earthiness, but think of Monkey Special going on summer holidays here in Portugal. Olissipo. It's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. I really love it. I think if this was released last year, it's the best release of Xerjoff. Although the standards are not very high, but it's still very good. Very, very good. Olissipo by Xerjoff, an exclusive fragrance just being sold at Xerjoff Boutique here in Lisbon. And last but certainly not least, this time from the house of Bortnikoff, and I needed to include an oud fragrance. In fact, the most worn note, the main note, let's say, of 2026 so far, it's oud. I've just been wearing oud fragrances, different type of oud fragrances, and I've been enjoying so much. Stay tuned for my ultimate oud list, the best oud fragrances out there. This is one of them. This is one of them. I want to include an oud fragrance. Oud is my favorite perfume note. And yeah, this really is on my top 3, if not my favorite even. I mean, it changes, you know, like maybe yesterday this was my favorite, today maybe not. Tomorrow will be again my favorite, so it's always changing, but it's up there. It's my top 3. From the house of Bortnikoff, it is Lao Oud. This is not for the faint of heart, and this is just for oud lovers. If you want a natural smelling, animalic, blue cheese oud, it's Lao Oud. Here you have Indian oud and Lao Oud. So this is all about oud, and this, it's so intoxicating. You know, oud for me is an opulent note, but also a very personal note. It's a note that I wear for myself whenever I want to feel comfortable, actually, whenever I want to feel that I will conquer the day, whenever I want to feel myself, whatever that means, really. But really, if I want just to have my smell, is oud. To wear my smell is oud. And this is one of those fragrances that represent that represent oud in just a perfect way. And it's beautiful. It's really one of the most beautiful oud fragrances out there. It's as natural as you can get. It's pricey, but I mean, it's totally worth it. It's completely worth it. This is, I believe, an extrait de parfum. Exactly. This is a 50 ml. And although you have more notes, you have a bit of a floral quality, you have a bit of magnolia, you have a bit of citruses, and many other notes in here. But this is more about oud, like a spicy, animalic, funky bit of blue cheese, resinous, a bit leathery oud, simply put. And yeah, it's one of the best ever created and one of the best that I ever experienced, and I'm really fortunate to have it in my collection. Bortnikoff Lao Oud. Finishing this video, guys, I believe I covered everything that I wanted to cover in this list. Let me know in the comments down below if you tried any of these fragrances. What fragrances would you suggest? What fragrances you think really should be in everyone's collection in 2026? If you like this video, if you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe, check out all the other fragrance content that I have available, and see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Ciao.